Welcome back to Wave of Docker. Series preview. Orioles take on the Chicago White Sox, 4-game set in Chicago from Thursday, May 23rd to Sunday, May 26th. Orioles coming off their first sweep in like 2 calendar years. It's whatever. Streak, I don't know. It's stupid. I think I was holding on to the streak a little bit, and I kind of realized that that's kind of silly. Like, it's not really, we got swept in the playoffs. It was kind of just like a fun little thing that made us special. But now I think that streak being over is kind of a good wake up call for this team, where it's like, I don't know. I think like the cool thing about that streak, like it's a cool streak, longest sweepless streak since like World War II. And I thought it showed, that we were never really out of a series. We could always, take one from a team. But I think getting swept by a team like the Cardinals, who were 20-26 before facing us, I think it's just kind of like, it's definitely like I've talked about it on this channel. We play down the teams a lot. And I think that kind of showed in this series immensely. We pitched 3 pitchers who are, Sonny Gray's a fantastic pitcher, but Lance Lynn, past his prime, Kyle Gibson. These are older guys, and the Cardinals lineup, they were, great a few years ago. Like Arenado's slumping, Goldschmidt slumping, like Newt Bar, like all of these guys that they picked up. Like this team is underperforming, I think, for its expectations, and then we go out and get swept by them. Obviously, rain delays, I guess, play a part in that. Not able to let, Means go further. And Means had some elbow discomfort, so, that's not really valid. But, Grayson going out and having a fantastic start, and then our bullpen blowing it, and our offense not able to hit worth a damn. And then Bradish having a fantastic outing in game 2, but then the rain delay kind of preventing him from keeping it going. It's just unfortunate, but we got swept. We got to get over it. New series, new step forward. Like I said, like this Cardinal series, and I guess the Mariners series as well, kind of kicked off this like long stretch of games where we only have 2 off days. So I think this is a good catalyst for growth for this team, and I think this White Sox series is going to be the next big step. This is a White Sox team that I think they're 15-34. Like, if we don't win at least 3 games from this team, that's trouble. And I think Mike Elias needs to start, grabbing guys from Norfolk and start making trades for guys that aren't backup catchers. I said it, but that's enough of that rant. Let's get into some game by game stuff, pitcher notes. But just back to non-pitcher stuff just for a little bit. But I don't know. The streak being over kind of stinks. It was a cool streak. It was a fun thing, but it's like we're not special anymore. We don't have this cool streak. We need to actually, be like, let's lock in, okay? Like, lock in, okay? I think we're 29-18. Bunch of games. I think we're like 4 or 5 games back from New York. New York, went on that streak. The Mariners are doing a good job beating the Yankees, so they're kind of keeping them down while we're down. But I don't know. I think this needs to be like we need to sweep the Chicago team. Like, it's tough. It's time to turn the burners on. I know it's May, but like getting swept by the St. Louis Cardinals when you have Grayson, Bradish, and Means on the bump. If any of our pitchers were on the bump, I know it was Kramer. It was Kramer, Bradish, Means. I say Grayson. Grayson was that Mariners game. I digress. We need to win this series. That's all I'm going to say. Game 1, Grayson versus Mike Clevenger. Game 2, Corbin Burns versus Chris Flexen. Game 3, Dean versus Eric Feta. Feta? The pronunciations on Baseball Reference, I neglected to copy that down. And Game 4, Kyle Bradish versus Garrett Crochet. Let's get into it. Game 1. Like I said, Grayson was fantastic in his first start back from shoulder inflammation. 6 innings of 1-hit ball. They did lose that game because of the bullpen. But, Grayson looked great. It really didn't look like he missed a beat from, like his later starts to the season. And he did have, like, a few, like, blow-up bits. But, I thought he looked solid. Like, he was definitely, like, obviously our 2 guy, I think, before Bradish and Means came back. But now I think at this point, I think he's probably our 3 or 4 guy at this point, right? I don't know. I think Grayson looked fantastic. And it's always nice to have him back. I think this rotation, when they're at their best, it's a really good rotation. I'm going to talk more about our pitchers, when we get later down into the pitching stuff. But I thought Grayson looked great, and it's great to have him back in the rotation. Mike Clevenger, 0-2 over 3 starts with a 5.56 ERA over 11 and 1/3 innings. I guess he started the season off with an injury. And he's coming back. I don't really like Mike Clevenger that much. He has like that really annoying windup where he's like doing like, he's like it's very like, very bizarre. And I'm surprised that I saw someone saying like it's surprising that he was able to keep that. But that one cat on what's his name? Luis Garcia on the Astros, he wasn't able to keep like the baby bump thing that he does. So, but yeah, I mean Clevenger's, he's older. I think he's like 34. I mean this White Sox team they're not that good. Like I'm gonna keep saying that. I hate to build them up as this bad team for us to obviously win. Like we should win, but I don't want to like jinx anything. But I mean they haven't really been very good. But that's Mike Clevenger, and that's game 1. Game 2, Burns versus Chris Flexen. Burns' last start was probably his second best start of the year besides the opener. 11 strikeouts, only 1 earned run, 7 innings, only 1 walk. Yeah, I think he had like 7 hits or something. He was fantastic. He looked like an ace. And he's looked like an ace all year. The really only unfortunate thing about his starts, at least like the last like 4 or 5, is that the Orioles lost all those games because our offense was just asleep whenever he was on the bump for some reason. But Corbin Burns had a Corbin Burns game. Not really that surprising. Yeah, I mean, he's fantastic. Everything was looking great. His cutter was looking great. He threw like a changeup to a righty for like the second time all year. He was doing his shit. I hope that he, continues to do his shit. He's been doing his shit all year. But, let's keep doing that shit because if he's doing that and our offense actually wakes up and plays competent baseball, it's wraps. It's wraps for any Corbin Burns start at least. Chris Flexen, 2-4 over 10 starts with a 5.48 ERA over 44 and 1/3 innings. Coming off a 7th spot against the Yanks. He's had a hard time staying in the game. I think he's only had 2 games out of his 10 go past 6 innings. So, he had like one really weird game where he gave up like 2 earned runs with only he gave up like 2 earned runs in 2 innings, and then they pulled him at like 28 pitches. So I'm not really sure what the story is with that. But yeah, I mean he's been all right. Like I said, this White Sox team, they're 15-34. We gotta win this series. I swear, I'm gonna turn to the Joker if we don't win this series. But yeah, that's game 2. Game 3, Dean Kramer versus Eric Feta. Feed. Rough start for Dino in his last outing. 5 earned runs over 4 innings. Dean Kramer's my favorite Orioles player. I'm gonna, pull out some excuses here. He was on 8 days of rest. And Laz Diaz, that missed call on that rookie, Ciani, the Cardinals catcher, I think. That missed call before the 3-run homer. 0-2 count, pitch like, if this is the zone, it was like right there. Umpires are part of this game. I'm not going to, lose sleep over it, but I mean, pretty clear missed call on that, and that led, obviously, like directly led to the 3-run homer on the next pitch. But, some days they just don't have it, and Dean, had probably only his second bad start out of his 10 this year, so I'm not really worried about it. I trust Dino. I'm not, worried about, I'm not going to use this start as like he hasn't been, consistent. He's been arguably the second most consistent pitcher in this rotation, and that's not me being a Dean Glazer. That's me just looking at the numbers and being like, he's going deep in the games, he's limiting runs, and he's able to, preserve the bullpen, and he's had 2 bad starts. He's a pitcher in MLB. Pitchers have bad starts. I'm not worried about it. Dean's going to go out and shove, I'm sure of it. I'm not worried at all. Eric Fuda is 4-1 over 10 starts with a 3.10 ERA over 50 innings. Pretty good. He's been a bright spot in this rotation, and he's done pretty good at going deep in the games. So, yeah, I mean, like the White Sox, this guy and Crochet have been pretty great for the White Sox so far. But still, come on. Let's win this series. But yeah, 4-1 over 10 starts with a 3.10 ERA is pretty good. Pretty good. It's the White Sox offense that's really been the part of their team. Like, I think their pitching really hasn't been all too bad. Like, these aren't like egregious numbers from their starters. They're just kind of like mad numbers from you kind of expect these numbers from 15-34 team. But I digress. Game 4, Kyle Bradish versus Garrett Crochet. Another good start for Bradish, which was, soiled by that rain delay. He probably could have gone longer. 1 earned run over 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. Have to wonder if he could have gone longer after the delay. My notebook is falling. I think Bradish has been pretty fantastic coming back from his UCL strain. I'm just happy to have him back. I think this rotation is one of the best in the American League, arguably in the league, I think, when they're at their best, like I said. And it just kind of sucks that it's just been our offense this year. Like when our offense is on, it's on, and when it's off, it's like it's like they're out there without a bat. It's really something. We just can't get balls out of the infield. We're not, taking advantage of having a runner on second with no outs. It sucks. It sucks. Garrett Crochet, 5-4 over 11 starts with a 3.75 ERA over 57 2/3 innings. He's been their ace with 74 strikeouts on the year. 24 years old, too. And he has a leg kick, which I think is pretty cool. I like Garrett Crochet. I'm curious to, see how the Orioles hit against him. But yeah, that's the pitching probables for this matchup. Probably my most rant-filled episode, so I don't know, these aren't really episodes. Probably my most rant-filled review or preview of the season so far, but I mean, getting swept by a 2026 Cardinals team is not very cool. Not cool, guys. And yeah, I think if this series, if I see Ramon Arias take another at-bat, I'm going to be upset. I love Ramon Arias. I love what he's been able to do for this team over the past few years, but I mean, we have better guys on the active roster now, and we have better guys in AAA Norfolk. So unless I see him, I don't know, I'm kind of being hateful right now. I don't mean to be, but I'm just like, come on. We're a team with 100-win, expectations from last season. We're a team that, has been tops in the American League over the past few years. We got to start trotting out more competitive lineups and actually being like, we have guys in AAA Norfolk that are hitting the cover off the ball, like Connor Norby, like Heston Kjerstad, and we're finding ways to, consistently play Ramon Arias and like James McCann and stuff like that. I mean, I love James McCann, but I mean, and like Cedric Mullins, he's been kind of slumping. Like, is a trip down to AAA Norfolk, in his future? We don't know, because even when his bat's not on, you can expect his defense to be on. But then, he makes plays like his base running in the 9th of last game. Sloppy. He had a bad read on that ball to the outfield that led to, I think that led to, no, that wasn't the inside the Parker, but he had a bad read in the outfield on a fly ball that led to like a RBI double. Like, it's these little things that build up, and it's like, we have these talented guys. We have the best farm system in baseball, and we have these talented guys down at AAA Norfolk, and we have guys up here that are slumping. I mean, come on. Like, I think this series is a litmus test, I think, for the rest of the year. I know that's crazy to say against a 15-win team, but I mean, coming off of getting swept, I need to see how this team responds. I need to see how Brandon Hyde constructs his lineups. I need to see if Mike Elias is serious about, constructing a winning baseball team, because 101 wins last year, swept in the playoffs, just got swept by a 2026 Cardinals team. Come on. That's enough rants for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Go O's as always. I hate to sound pessimistic at all. I don't like being pessimistic about sports. I care about sports a lot. I care about the Orioles a lot. And I'm just like, it's rough. Getting swept is not fun. And the fun thing about baseball is that, when you lose, it ruins your day. But then you win, it's like anything can happen to me. I'm going to be happy. But that's enough for this video. That's enough rants. 13 minutes about the White Sox series. Go O's. Peace out. Go O's. Peace out.